Hello. If you ever wanted to read a book about lighthouses, and they're great stories, but if you ever read a true story about when they ran lighthouses, this is a true story. It was about a twin lighthouse in Maine. In other words, it had two lighthouses with their living quarters in the middle. Looked like a castle. This lighthouse was in Maine. And somebody got the information from a museum in Maine and some other people, and they got the story as it was told by the woman who is the main character in the book, whose name is Abbie. And I love the title. It's called Keep the Lights Burning, Abbie. One more time, a close look. Keep the Lights Burning, Abbie. That's what it's about. And that's what I will read it, and then you will know completely what it's about. I decided to do this like the way I did Stan the Hot Dog Man, where I will just hold the book in my hand and just read it and hope it'll turn out as good or like Stan the Hot Dog Man. So now I'll make a camera adjustment. We'll get started with this really good book. I really liked it, and it's not a really long story, but it's a great book. So here we go. Keep the lights burning, Abbie, said her father. So here we go. I have to make some adjustments and make sure that I'm not in the picture. And here we go. One more time. Let's see here. Make it smaller. Something like that. Yeah. And like that. Let me look. I'll have to hold it like this. There we go. I'm trying. It always hurts to try something different. Maybe that's enough. Let's see. Okay. I think we got it. I hope. Keep the lights burning. And one moment while I put on my glasses. Here we go. Keep the lights burning. Abbie. By Peter and Connie Roop. Pictures by Peter E. Hodson. And here we go. These are puffin birds. They sometimes live on small rocky islands. That reminds me of a book that I own about another lighthouse, and I don't know if I read it or not to you all, but I will check later. Now here we go. Get ready. I hope you're still with me. And here we go with some great pictures and a great true story. Let's see. Okay. I think I'd better make it a little bit little bit. Where is it? Here it is. No, here it is. Yeah, there we go. A little bit smaller. Now we'll try that. Keep the lights burning. Here we go. Keep the lights burning. A note from the authors. For centuries, lighthouses have warned sailors of coastal dangers. But long ago, simple lamps and dedicated lighthouse keepers were all that kept many ships from being wrecked on hazardous rocks and ledges. And that is what I will read for now, for the beginning. So here comes the story. It was basically a story that was around 1856 was when it happened. The guy who was the lighthouse keeper was named Captain Burgess. And this was a story as told by Abbie. And she is the one that has to keep the lights burning. And here we go. Okay. Abbie looked out the lighthouse window. Waves washed up on the rocks below, out at sea. A ship sailed safely by. Will you sail to town today, Papa? Abbie asked. Yes, Captain Burgess answered. Mama needs medicine. The lights need oil. We need food. The weather is good now, so it's safe to go out and puffin'. But what if you don't get back today? Asked Abbie. Who will take care of the lights? Papa smiled. You will, Abbie. Oh, no, Papa, said Abbie. I have never done it alone. You have trimmed the wicks before, said Papa. You have cleaned the lamps and put in the oil. Mama is too sick to do it. Your sisters are too little. You must keep the lights burning, Abbie. Many ships count on our lighthouses. Abbie followed Papa down the steps. Another day she would have raced. This morning her legs felt too heavy to run. She and Papa walked down to the shore. Their little boat, Puffin, pulled on its rope. Captain Burgess jumped into the boat. He raised the sail. Puffin moved away from shore. Keep the lights burning, Abbie, her father called. I will, Papa, Abbie cried, but the wind carried off her words. Abbie watched Puffin, the name of the boat, slide out to sea. Far away she could see Mantinicus Island. She knew Papa was a fine sailor. She could sail in rain. Rather, he could, that is. I don't think she could. But he could sail in rain. He could sail in fog. But if the wind blew up again, he could not sail back to Matinicus Rock today. The waves would be too high for the little boat. Then she would have to care for the lights. Abbie looked up. The two lighthouse towers seemed as high as the sky. Her family stone house sat between the towers. Not far away stood Abbie's hen house. Abbie went to feed her chickens. She threw some corn on the ground. The hungry hens hurried to it. Abbie sat on a rock and watched them. "Now listen, Hope, Patience, and Charity," she said. "Don't eat it all too fast. There is not much corn left, but Papa will bring you more," Abbie sighed. "I hope he gets home today. I am a little afraid to care for the lights alone." Patience pecked Abbie's shoe. Hope turned her head. Charity ruffled her feathers. Abbie laughed. "You're funny birds. You three always make me feel better," said Abbie. Abbie walked to the house. Esther opened the door. "When Papa is coming back?" she asked. "This afternoon," said Abbie. "What if another storm starts?" asked Mahala. "Don't worry," Abbie told her. "Papa will come back as soon as he can. You two run and get the eggs. How is Mama?" Abbie asked her sister Lydia. "Still too sick to get up," Lydia answered. "It's a good thing Papa went today. Mama needs medicine, and we are running out of food." "Then we must be careful," said Abbie. "If there's another storm, Papa will not get back today. We must make the food last. We must make it last." That afternoon, Abbie helped Mahala write her letters. Esther helped Lydia cook supper. Everyone helped take care of Mama. Outside, the sky turned gray. The wind put white caps on the waves. Another winter storm was coming. When the sun went down, Abbie put on her coat. She had to light the lamps. Abbie ran up the lighthouse steps. She stopped at the top to look out. The waves were like big hills. The wind blew rain at the windows. She could not even see Matinicus Island. She knew Papa could not sail back. Abbie was afraid. She wished her brother Benji were home, but he was away fishing. What if she could not light the lamps? What if she could not light the lamps? And there she is, going up the lighthouse. Maybe I should do this, since I don't know how good this camera is taking this. She picked up a box of matches. She sure did. And she struck a match, but it went out. She struck another. This one burned. Abbie held the match near the wick of the first lamp. The wick glowed. The light made Abbie feel better. One by one she lit the lamps. Then she went to the other lighthouse tower. She lit those lamps as well. Out at sea, a ship saw the lights. It steered away from the dangerous rocks. And there she is squatting under the lamps with a lit match. That night the wind blew hard. Abbie could not sleep. She kept thinking about the lights. What if just what if they went out? A ship might crash. Abbie got out of bed. She put on her coat. She climbed the lighthouse steps. It was a good thing she had come. There was ice on the windows. The lights could not be seen. All night long, Abbie climbed up and down. She scraped ice off the windows. She checked each light. Not one went out. What a job for poor Abbie. In the morning, the wind still blew. Waves rolled across Matinicus Rock. Ka-choo, ka-choo, ka-choo. Abbie blew out each light. She trimmed each wick. She cleaned each lamp. She put in more oil. Then she went to breakfast. Then at last she went to bed. For over a week the wind and rain roared. For a while, the family had to move into one of the strong towers. One morning, water ran under the door. "My chickens!" Abbie cried. "They will be washed away!" As the storm gets worse. "Don't go outside," said Lydia. "You will be washed away too." Abbie picked up a basket. "I go outside every night," she said. "I've been washed, and that is, I haven't been, I'm having trouble talking. I haven't been washed away yet." Her sister giggled. "Can't you talk?" She opened the door. Water splashed into the room. Abbie ran out into the rain. She waded to the hen house. And perhaps it was turning into a wind house. She put Patience under her arm. She pushed Hope and Charity into the basket. Just then she heard another big wave coming. Kapoosh! It sounded like a train. Woo! Woo! Poor Abbie has got a lot of work to do. Abbie raced to the tower. "Open the door," she yelled. Lydia opened the door. Abbie ran inside. "Oh, look!" Mahala cried. "Look there! The sea is coming! The sea is coming!" Right through the door. The sea is coming right through the door. It sure is. And the waves crashed over Matinicus Rock. It was washed, and it sure did. It washed away the hen house. The girls pushed the door shut. Then the wave hit it. Abbie felt the lighthouse shake. She was shaking too. They had shut the door just in time to keep out the big wave. Day after day, it snowed or rained. Abbie wished it would stop. She was tired of the wind. She was tired of the waves. She was tired of climbing the lighthouse steps. And she was tired of eggs. The only thing left to eat was eggs. And Abbie was sick of them. She was sick of those sorry eggs. She wished that Papa would come back. She was so sick of eating those eggs. And she was tired. And she was exhausted. And she was staying up all night. And she was sleeping in the day. Then one morning, the waves seemed smaller. The sky was not so black. The wind did not blow so hard. Late that afternoon, the girls heard a voice outside. It was Papa. They ran to help him carry in the boxes. There was medicine for Mama. There was oil for the lamps. There was mail, and there was food. And there was corn for Abbie's chickens. I was afraid for you, said Papa. Every night I watched for the lights. Every night I saw them. Then I knew you were all right. Abbie smiled. I kept the lights burning, Papa. And so you did, my child. And so you did. And this ends, keep the lights burning, Abbie. I hope you liked the book. I wonder if I should post it. But that is it. Keep the lights burning, Abba. Or I knew it. I just knew it. I rehearsed this before and said Abba. And her name is Abbie. At least it was after the story was over. Her name is Abbie. And this is a true story. Matter of fact, there was something else I was supposed to read you. I did not finish the beginning here. I did that on purpose. Just one moment. I will tell you a little bit about the rest. So this will prove it's a true story. Abbie Burgess and her family moved to Matinicus Rock off the coast of Maine, like I said, in 1853, when her father became the lighthouse keeper there on January 19, 1856. Captain Burgess went after desperately needed supplies for his family and oil for the lamps. He left Abbie in charge of the lights while he was alone. Soon after he sailed, a tremendous storm came up that lasted 4 weeks. During all that time, Abbie and her sisters took care of their sick mother, and Abbie kept the lights burning. There ought to be a song about that. Keep the lights burning. Keep 'em burning, burning, burning. Keep the lights burning. Yes, there ought to be a song. Abbie Burgess continued to take care of lighthouses for the rest of her life. Today, her grave is marked by a small lighthouse, a miniature copy of the lighthouse on Matinicus Rock. Abbie's story is famous in the history of brave lighthouse keepers. And a person that kept a lighthouse was called the lighthouse keeper. And generally, it was a man, and he was usually called captain, for he knew a little bit about sailing, and some of these might have been retired from the Navy. Keep the Lights Burning, Abbie, is based on her own account of the storm and on an information from other historical sources. So, that's it. See? I told you, it's a true story. Sounds like one I made up, only better written. This ends. Keep the lights burning, Abbie.